Hi, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. Let's look at D103 post-filing. What is a 3373? Right here. 3373 Adult Functional Report Form. It's all about, we learned about why do we learn about their social activities. It's all about their social activities. So let's talk about, well, the first question, the big question, section B, is actually about their work, but this is not really the work form. This is about their social activities. Describe what you do from the time you wake up until you go to bed. You know, do you have difficulty going to the bathroom? Do you need to hold on to stuff? Do you have to sit on a chair when you take a shower? Does the heat cause environmental restrictions from you from the hot water because you can't stand hot, you know, or heat or cold? Or, you know, are you very difficult on slippery surfaces because you can't stand up? You'll fall because you don't have good balance, because you have a bad back or you have bad knees or bad hips or whatever. Personal care. On this form, everybody starts off and like, oh, no problems with personal care. If the person has to, well, let's go through it. Do they have any illnesses, injuries, or conditions affect your ability to dress, bathe, care for hair, shave, feed yourself, use the toilet, other? Oh, this person has depression, therefore it doesn't affect their ability to dress. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Very simply put, if they're depressed, and a lot of new people, they always leave these, oh, there's no problem at all. If they're depressed, they don't want to get dressed in the morning. They usually don't get ready throughout the day. They don't do anything throughout the day. That's what they do when they're depressed. Bathe. You know, do they need to hold on to things? If they have mental problems, do they bathe every day? No, they bathe every 4 or 5 days because they just don't care anymore. They just stay in a room, they don't do anything. Or they're homeless, they don't have the ability to bathe. They became homeless because they were depressed and couldn't work. Care for hair. You know, do they cut their hair? Does somebody else cut their hair for them? You know, do they take care of their hair? Is it a thing where, you know, basically, you know, it's all over the place. It's just, you know, fragmented and it's knotted and problematic. You know, is it one of those situations? Shave. Do they shave? Do they take care of it? These are all questions about whether or not they have the ability to do these things. Now, let's talk about that real quick. When we talk about bathing, what they're looking for is the ability to, like, you know, lean down and clean your toes, be able to reach your hands up and clean the back of your back, things like that. You know, because that tells us about rotation of the arms, ability to reach above your head, because it's the same with dusting. Can you dust? Can you dust above your head? Can you do a motel job, etc., etc.? Feed yourself. All right, let's talk about the feeding yourself thing. What they're really getting at here is the cooking thing, not can you pick up a, you know, a fork or a spoon or whatever. I mean, that is part of it. One of the questions I ask at hearings is what's more difficult for you? Picking a pencil up off the floor, buttoning a button on your shirt, zipping a zipper on your pants, tying your shoelaces, or, for example, picking a penny off the table. These are all good questions, and what I'm getting at is I want to know what the most difficult thing is that they're not able to do so I can expand upon that. All right, feed yourself. You know, what they're talking about is cooking here. Are you able to stand by the stove? Is the person forgetful? Leaves the stove on, leaves the fridge open, leaves the toaster on, and, you know, potentially creating a fire. All of these different things equate to what we need to look at for whether or not a person is having difficulties with it. You know, don't just say, can they feed themselves? Yes, they're here, they're present, they ate food. Actually describe why they have problems feeding themselves. They can't make food. They can't get food into the house because they can't get food from the market because they can't lift it out of the cart into a car, or they can't get it from the store back to their tent in the woods because it's too far to walk with something that's heavy, so they have to carry things that are lighter. So maybe they have a hard time feeding themselves because they can't get a gallon of milk, they have to get a quart of milk, and then when they're depressed, they don't go, and then they sit there and starve for a couple of days until they absolutely have to go out and get food. Use the toilet. Do they have to lean on things? Do they have to use any special amenities, such as a tool to wipe themselves, such as the ability to stand up or sit down for extended periods? You know, all of these things are important to define whether or not this person has a difficult time doing them. Questions go on. Do you need any special reminders to take care of personal needs and grooming? Do you leave yourself reminders on your phone? Do you have sticky notes? Do you have a caseworker who helps you? Do you need help or reminders taking medicine? You know, same deal. Do you have a caseworker? Do you miss medication dosages? Do you try to stay on track with them? Yada, yada. Meals. Do you prepare foods? You know, house or yard work. This is all about what you can do on a social level with your functioning. It's all about your ability to complete these tasks and do these things to the best of your ability, but at the same time realize that it's all about, you know, how these things relate to a job you could potentially do. Because if you don't have a lot of problems with doing home tasks, you sure as heck aren't going to have a lot of problem with doing vocational tasks. That's truth. It's very simple. It's truth. If you don't have a lot of problems doing vocational tasks, then guess what? You're not disabled, because you can go out and do work. Okay, here's another one. Check any of the following items that your illness, injuries, or conditions affect: lifting, squatting, bending, standing, reaching, walking, sitting, kneeling, talking, hearing, stair, climbing, seeing, memory, completing tasks, concentrating, understanding, following instructions, using hands, getting along with others. If you don't have any issues with this, then, you could go out and do a job. Do you use any of the following: crutches, walker, wheelchair, cane, brace, splint? So when you're filling this out for the first time for yourself, right? The whole point of this is that you're writing down your details so that you understand how to fill one of these out. And you're going to see, name, medicines. Now, there's important parts of this form. It's part of Section D, 22. All right, Section D22 goes into name a medication and side effect you have. Side effects are super duper important. Each disability causes certain side effects or symptoms of, lack of ability to do something. So, for example, I have compressed spine issues, disc bulging issues, result of which is that I'm required to walk with a cane because I can't hold myself up. So the symptoms or side effects of that is that I'm very slow. I can't go very far. When I'm walking, it takes me longer to sit down. I have pain when I'm sitting, so I can't focus, etc. Similarly, so disabilities have side effects. Similarly, so do medicines. Medicines have side effects. I take this medicine, this antidepressant, just whatever. It could be any medicine, lisinopril, or, for whatever those, whatchamacallit, for heart issues, or, blood pressure issues, or whatever, trazodone or naproxen or whatever. They're taking some medication. The point is that we need to write down the side effects that they have. Do they have urgency and frequency of urination? Do they have dry eyes, dry mouth? Do they have an inability to, stay focused? Does it make them feel drowsy, tired? Do they sleep more often? Do they have a tough time getting along with people? Does it make them aggravated, aggressive, angry? This is like bonus round. What other symptoms are caused by the tools that are used to help them? Okay, and that's what these medications are. They're tools to help a person, but in reality, sometimes they cause symptoms which make the person worse off and unable to work. So let's take a medication to keep somebody from being suicidal. It makes them into a zombie. Can we send this person to work without the medication? No. Can we send this person to work with the medication? No, especially if there's moving machinery there. We don't want them here. So that's what you need to know about this 3373 form. It's all about basically, what the person can do in a take care of themselves social setting. What hobbies they have. Can they cook? Can they clean? Can they mow the lawn? Are they on a sit on mower? Are they a push mower? Are they on a ride on mower? Stuff like that where you're standing behind it. These are all things we want to know. We want to know these things because they help us define whether or not this individual is in fact disabled. Now, I will say this: most firms don't give a damn about filling these things out. The big box firms, the ones you see on TV or the ones you see advertising on the billboards, they don't give a damn. You know why the grand majority of those are denied? Because they don't spend time properly filling out these forms. The claimant will put down something especially stupid, remarkably stupid, and then there's no way around it. That is right there, definitively, a moment in time where that claimant stated that, and for the rest of that person's life, it will be part of the federal record. And the SSA can use it to deny that person. I like going to rock concerts. Genuinely happened. I like going to rock concerts. If they don't put down, I haven't been to a rock concert in 8 years. I like going to rock. Well, you can handle loud music. You can buy tickets online. You can do all these things. Be around other people in close proximity. Yada, yada, yada. Have transportation via local bus system. Get off on stops properly. Get along with the bus driver and all the instructions he yells out. Sure. Think about all the jobs that person could do. They could be a ticket attendant. They could be a popcorn dispenser person who sells popcorn. Whatever. All right, so that's what you basically need to know about that. That way you understand it. That's what a 3373 is. My name is Attorney Walter Hnot. That is D103, post-filing. What is a 3373? And why is it called post-filing? Because After we filed those initial forms that we talked about, the fee agreement 69.6, 69.5, 8227, 8000 BK, 16 BK, and 3368, after we've done those, then we go on to the DDS forms, which are the 3373, 3369, 3380, and your supplemental forms. Sometimes there's other forms, but those are the mainstay. We're going to go through each one of those, that way you understand what they are. Okay? My name is Attorney Walter Hnot. Here we go.